Get ready. It's time. Christina, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And
we're Cimorelli.
Welcome back to
the Cimorelli podcast.
Oof.
Welcome back, you guys. We have a great episode planned for today.
I'm actually really excited.
And shout out to all you patrons. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. It means so much to us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Today, we're going to talk to you guys about New Year's resolutions and how to fall in love this year.
Oh, girl.
A lofty promise. It's not a
seems
promise.
Impossible, but I did it because I was like, I want to do this, and I did it. I intentionally went through this journey. So I have a lot of tips.
I did this as well, but thinking about it has been an interesting trip down memory lane. But we're not going there yet. We got to start with breakfast. What did you ladies eat for breakfast?
All right. So when I was with child, pregnant, perjury.
When you were committing perjury.
Yes. When you were committing perjury with my daughter, then it's my foot. Stop.
It's like right in front of me.
All right. I had gestational diabetes, which means you can only eat a certain amount of carbs in a day. Spoiler alert, it's not a lot. So I had to learn. You're supposed to have 15 carbs your first snack. You're supposed to have like 30 carbs for breakfast, 15 for a snack, 45 for lunch, 15 for a snack, 30 for dinner.
What's the total?
I don't know. I just remember the numbers. Okay. But when you look at the meals that you normally eat, not you, but most people, it's like, oh, so I had 50 and then 90 and then 100 and then, oh, my favorite dessert is 150. Oh, that's like my whole day. Can't have that.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I got used to eating low carb foods, aka keto foods. They hate carbs, whatever. Good for them. A few of the foods I loved and I kept and brought them into my postpartum journey. And one of them that I had yesterday is actually really good. It tastes like, okay, I don't want to say it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch because you're going to eat it and be like, it's not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But it gives me the feeling of like healthy Cinnamon Toast Crunch, kind of.
It gives you the feeling.
Like, I don't want to even say it's a healthy version, but it reminds me of it. It's got a cinnamon taste.
It's reminiscent.
The cinnamon, I think. Yeah, the cinnamon flavor of like Catalina Island. I think that's the brand. Keto cereal. It comes in a bag. It's kind of small. It's kind of expensive. It's like $9, but I love it. I don't get it all the time, but the size bowl that I eat is like 25 to 30 grams of protein. Great way to start your day.
Amazing.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
And then you add in the milk and it's like, girl,
I don't eat
you're at 30,
cereal,
35.
so.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really start my day like a champion with all that. Yeah, that was my breakfast.
Cool.
Okay, I have the weirdest one of the whole year. You would literally never guess it. Like, you would guess 1,000 things, you would never guess
Octopus.
it. Nope.
Oh.
Never guess. I'm telling you, you would never guess it. So, I made this from scratch, of course.
Still trying to guess in
and
my brain.
it was Mexican street corn. I don't know why I had this for breakfast.
Wait, what
does that mean?
Okay, so it's normally made with mayonnaise, which of course is 100% against my religion. I would never even think about it. So I found a way to make it with Greek yogurt, which actually tastes amazing. It's corn, Greek yogurt, or mayonnaise. I'm not even going to say that.
Wait, on the cob or in a bowl?
In a bowl. Well, yeah. It's in a pan.
Okay.
And then cilantro, garlic, chili, lime, aka tahini.
Love tahini.
I think that's. Oh,
Blessed
and then
tahini.
a crumbly cheese, which is supposed to be cojita.
Oh, that's what I get on my
But
buffalo bowl.
It's queso fresco is what I had, and it's a
Yeah.
crumbling cheese that doesn't melt.
That is so good.
So you just like run a fork across, and it just like crumbles, and it doesn't melt when you heat it up.
Incredible.
This does
It
not
will
sound like
just
a
salt a
breakfast.
little
Crumbly
bit,
cheese.
but not really.
And the corn is very sweet, and then the cheese is salty, and then it all comes together. And I can't quite explain it, but Barrett loves it too.
I mean,
Oh,
it sounds
I love
good.
it.
I don't know why I had
I
it for
wanna try
breakfast.
it.
That was it? Just that you ate?
Just a bunch of corn.
Well, you had Greek yogurt, and you have the cheese,
You didn't
and you
have
have
it
the
with
corn.
like chips?
No.
It's just
Was it
like
like
in
a
a bowl.
creamy
I
corn?
just ate a ton of corn and
Wait,
cheese.
how does the
Love it.
Greek yogurt come in? Is it like, does it end up being like a sauce?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like
I
creamy
know it
corn
sounds
kind of thing.
weird, but it was amazing. Like
It
so
sounds
amazing.
really
Seems a bit
good,
much for
actually.
breakfast.
And Barrett and I loved it. I made it the night before, and then I woke up being like, I want that corn again.
Okay, that makes more
yeah.
sense.
You
So
had
like you woke
leftovers.
up at 6 a.m. You're like, I need cream.
Yeah,
So like warmed this up. You didn't like prepare it.
No, I actually had to make it all again.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And it took like 30 minutes, but I was like, I gotta do this. So that was my weird breakfast. I don't know why I did that. But.
I hate to say it,
Lauren,
guys.
don't do it.
I
skipped
did not eat breakfast.
No, the humanity.
Red alert.
Wait,
I was
does
too
it count as
busy.
not eating breakfast if you
Bad.
don't eat till 10, but you woke up at 8 or 7:30?
No, that's still breakfast.
I
Alright.
don't know.
Because a
Technically,
lot of
when
days I
does
wait
it?
a long time, and I'm like, wow, I'm starving. I
I
should have
waited
eaten
till
already.
like noon.
Oh my
Okay, that's
gosh,
lunch.
I have
That
never
was
done
lunch.
that.
And
I
you
would
ate
die.
lunch?
It was bad.
Girl,
I don't
no.
recommend it. Don't skip
Don't do
breakfast.
Guys, there's a reason to say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Because it's the most important meal of the day.
Because it literally is very, very good to eat it every day.
I mean, I like that sweatshirt for you, I have to say. Bye, bye.
Bye.
Gotta go.
I just love it.
All right, what did you have? Let's take a wild guess.
Well, everyone.
2 eggs with avocado and goat cheese. I don't know.
Literally, that's it. That's what I
Toast,
had.
toast with that.
Avocado, goat cheese, toast. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
literally it.
Eggs. That was it.
Wait, 2 eggs on 1 piece of toast.
Yeah.
By
Well,
themselves?
no, but on the side.
Oh, so
The
it's
toast
toast
and the
then
eggs.
eggs.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
avocado toast with goat cheese.
Yes.
And then eggs.
yes.
You should know
Every
this by
day.
now.
I don't know. Every time she says it, my brain goes, what is that?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, sometimes I put arugula.
Oh,
And it's good
that's
as heck,
good.
bro.
I would
You
never.
put little onions.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes
arugula
I
for
put
breakfast.
onions in the eggs for
No,
variation.
on the toast.
Did you know that cooking onions, they I forget the word. Something happens?
yeah, I was gonna say
no,
caramel?
they turn green and they turn things around them green.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's a thing. I
example?
looked it up for like red onions, I think, and because I cooked them eggs, and I was like, "Why is it green? What is this?" And then I looked it up, and it
And
was a
I
whole thing.
don't know about that.
No, it was real. I'm
I
telling
need
you
to
that
look
for
this
free.
up.
I'm telling you
Interesting.
that.
Green eggs and
Well,
ham.
we definitely all have our own breakfast styles. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I had
Okay.
cereal.
So,
Cool.
I can't even imagine
God.
eating cereal. Like, I can't imagine it. I'd rather not.
I used
Wow.
to be so obsessed with cereal. I
heavy
used to have
statement.
3 huge bowls of cereal every morning.
No, it's or
It's good.
nothing. No,
I
no.
used to pour the biggest bowls of
No,
cereal.
don't. No,
Guys,
not
Christina,
the end,
you gotta get
not
onto the
end.
magic spoon grind. Oh, it's really good. It's like cereal for adults. It's like healthy and it also has a lot of protein in
Maybe
it.
one day I will.
Lots of protein, low sugar. It is also expensive, but it tastes like Fruit Loops, Cocoa Puffs, all those things.
If I'm desperate, I will.
and you'll get a lot of protein.
Sounds fun.
It's always great to get that protein. Okay, you guys.
Gotta.
Let's go into our 4 perspectives.
Our 4
Or
pops.
5 when Kath's back. But
We
now
miss
we're
you,
at
Kath.
4.
we're at 4.
This is, have you ever stuck with your New Year's resolutions? And if so,
How?
what did you do
What?
that helped you stick with them?
I've never ever done a New Year's resolution.
I feel
Never.
like I more do like goals for the year. I feel like a resolution is more like I'm gonna start doing this every day. Like I feel like I more do goals for the year and then I achieve some of them and don't achieve others.
I saw this thing
I
about
don't
the
know.
concept of 5 rocks or whatever, where it's like this is the 5 things I'm gonna do this year. But I was like, I think 5 is too many, honestly.
For a
I think
year?
you should, yeah. You should
I don't
pick
think so.
one thing and stick with it and do it like one big goal. That's my approach.
Yeah, I also just call them goals for the year. And the ones I've stuck with the most, I didn't, this thing my dad did. So my dad and I are very similar in some ways. And he's also very goal oriented. And he told us before to always write down your goals and have them in your bathroom, like on your mirror or like right on your sink somewhere. And he would always say all the time, and sometimes I would do it, sometimes I wouldn't. But then one time, it was the end of the year, and I was using my parents' bathroom, and I saw his goal list. And I read it. I'm very nosy. And I read it and I was like, whoa, he was just talking about a bunch of this stuff. He actually accomplished and it was big goals. And it inspired me so much seeing that he'd had it there the whole year and that he had accomplished like either every one or just like several of these huge goals. So I was like, you know what? I need to do that. So then I did do it the next year and it really worked. Having my goals up there on the mirror and looking at them every day, it like changes something. And I think it like orients your
It
mind
just makes you not forget about it.
around where you're trying to go, and every time you see and remind you, it like redirects you like every
and
morning.
you start seeing like opportunities that maybe you wouldn't have seen if you forgot about it.
Yeah.
So I think so I did that, and I would say that's my biggest tip is to write your goals and put them on your bathroom mirror or somewhere where you're gonna see them all the time. That's probably one of my biggest tips for New Year's resolutions.
Wait, I want to give my tip because I just realized my New Year's is my birthday. Okay, every year
What?
my birthday,
Oh
except
my
for this
gosh,
birthday,
Lisa.
I review the whole year from the last birthday and like what did I do?
I do this.
I set goals for this age, like, and
Yeah.
they're big things of like, you know, I want to get in a relationship, I want to get married, I want to have a kid, buy a house, whatever. It's like a big thing that I want to tackle, and I pretty much always do them. One of them I added dye my hair green, and I checked that off really quick. But my thing is I like to think of one category of my life that I want to work on this year. And I realized it sounds like, oh, only one thing, but actually there's a million things you do to improve that category. So like the one year I wanted to make like a really good friend. Spoiler alert, I did. And I wanted to like meet someone who's like, this person is like down for me or whatever, and we're on the same page, whatever. So there's like all the stuff you have to do to get there, of like putting yourself out more, hanging out with them, blah, blah, blah. You know, inner work of why can't I find good friends, you know? And then there's like relationships. Oh my gosh. So for some people, myself, that was like a huge undertaking of like, how do I get there? Why can't I get there? What's stopping me? What do I do when I get there? How do I get past these normal hang-ups? Like there's so much to do in this one category. You don't need to make over your finances, find the love of your life, buy the mansion of your dreams, buy the car of your dreams, become famous. Like people set like 19 huge goals in all these categories that are so overwhelming. Like I used to want to do that, but my advice is just pick one, or I don't know, we'll do whatever you want. But for me, it works best to pick one category and just blow through it all year. And then at the end of the year, you're like, wow, I have really changed. I really did this. This category of my life is so awesome because life is long. People always say life is short. Life is long. If you pick one thing every year that's a major improvement, in 10 years, you're going to be killing it. And 10 years goes by like that. I'm 28 now.
I just touched her leg. That's why I was
Lauren
laughing.
was
On
like
accident.
continuously, her foot
Oh,
was,
it was
touching
my
my
shoe.
knee.
I couldn't tell.
What?
I just looked over.
You meant to be like stroking the chair leg
No,
or
just
something?
moving. I don't know.
so weird.
I just
So
thought she's
weird.
like,
Oh, it's so weird.
Okay, anyway, in 10 years, you will really improve if you pick one thing every year. And you think, 10 years takes so long. Well, think of how long ago you were 7. Or maybe now you're 17. Yeah, that flew by.
that was
Okay,
a long time.
True. I think that I just realized what mine is, and it's really just commitment. Okay, that is how I actually do things. So it's like I was saying, like, oh, I write a bunch of goals, some I accomplish, some I don't. The ones that I don't are the ones I'm not that committed to. The ones that I do, I just committed to them and I just did it. You just commit and do it. That's how I do it.
It's hard because the reason why, because it's like simple, right? It's hard because committing to something takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, it
because you have
does.
to face a lot of disappointments, a lot of challenges. And
But you're committed to it, so
Yes.
you don't
No,
care.
you're
well, you
100%
care, but
right.
you're just like, I'm gonna do it.
Lauren, you're like Chad. You guys have this weird thing where you're just like, oh yeah, you just do it.
It's not that it's easy. You just decide to do it, and you
that's
just
Lauren.
do it.
The deciding is hard. That's the whole point. It's like to you, it's just this concept of like.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying is if you realize you're
Yeah.
not committed to things, then you're never gonna do
Just
them.
scrap it and throw it in the trash. Say,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this goal.
Or just figure out why you can't commit to anything.
or just figure out. Amy,
I don't
got
know.
any tips?
Two
for
different
people?
approaches.
I think it's a blessing for me that I've just always had. So
Yeah.
Um,
no, it's a
Commitment.
thing. It's a thing.
This is making me realize I don't make goals. I never do. I don't do
Really?
New Year's resolutions.
goals.
I have a
Amy,
fear
I have a
of
New Year's-
bullying
well,
from myself. So I
Oh,
just
I
that
relate
makes
to
sense.
this.
Like
That's
it's
what
too
I'm
much
saying.
pressure.
It's too much pressure, put it on myself, never enough. What is
It's
it?
so
Yeah.
easy to be like, wow, I'm a failure. I failed again. It's hard to turn that around.
And I don't even give myself a chance to be like, oh, failed again. I'm just kind of like, oh, I never did anything. Even though I've done many things. But I will say that if I made some, I probably would do them.
wow, we love to hear that.
Commitment. She's the same as
okay,
me.
look, bros, if I
yeah.
commit,
Why don't you do some?
I'm in it to win it, and there's no
Because
going
it's hard
back.
to make the decision to
I
commit.
have a fear of commitment.
Try
That
a
is
small-
also
you
the
should
part of it
try
that
a
is the
small
issue.
one.
Hey, I have a good New
True.
Year's resolution for you. Do something fun and lighthearted once every other week.
I
That's
love
twice
that.
a month.
Maybe
I
once
need
a
that.
month.
No. Twice a month.
Look, I am
Twice
the
a
queen of
month.
schedules, and I love
can't
that.
agree to that.
Yes. Amy.
See, I've committed to many things, but it takes sometimes too much courage to commit to a goal
because
for
in
me.
the times of
That's
stress,
okay.
when you're so overwhelmed, you're like, oh, it's Friday. I have to do something fun and lighthearted every other Friday. And then you're like forced to go.
I love
And then
it.
you're like,
I love it.
Lauren, not for you. For Amy.
Okay.
That's
No,
why
but
I'm
I
prescribing
did-
this
She
to
does
her.
fun stuff all the time.
I do.
I know, but it's like...
I did the thing this year though where I guess I've made goals though, like, oh, I want to make this summer a good summer, and then I went out and I did it.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I want to put myself
Yeah,
out there.
that was a goal that you talked
and
about in
I
that
want
other episode.
to Yeah,
you
Lauren says I
commit.
need to get rejected more, so then I get rejected,
Hey, yeah.
and I commit to the grind.
I told you you need to open up your soul and find yourself, whatever. You totally did it.
Yeah.
She started
You totally
painting.
did it.
Once I find the grind, I commit to it. Once I commit to it, like I've been trying to put out music for years. Never did it, but I think this year might be the year that I actually do it.
It's
my
a good
gosh.
goal.
I think it is. I'm right down to it. I'm
Me too,
right
with
there.
8,000
All right,
demos.
that's a great goal.
Yes, because I have stuff that
It's
I've
a
produced and I've arranged one
So
song.
many things.
I'll show you it now.
Lauren's
Stop
making
it.
Christina's
I
Spotify page in her
really
brain.
want Christina to put on music. She's
Me
all
too.
these demos.
Me
That's
too.
so
Way-
good.
A lot
You know
more
what?
energy. For
I will record them. I'll put them as my own song.
No, this is the
my
trick. This is
gosh.
the trick. This is the trick. You just say, you know what? I'm just gonna put it on Spotify.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, I'll just put it on my story one time, and then it just slowly builds from there.
Yeah,
just
no,
make it a really simple
I have all
thing.
this music that I made, and I
You know what I'm
See,
saying?
Amy and I are
Finish
similar
it.
in some of these ways.
Yeah, but like I'm getting there, and I'm right there, and I'm on the precipice,
I
and I
believe it.
think I'm ready. Because like last year I
Awesome.
did, or 2 years, a while ago, I did my Prince, and I will do more this year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
To her
There you
art.
go.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can't do things because you are being mentally tortured. But
Yeah.
then
By
once
yourself.
by myself. But then
Sucks.
sometimes you get out of mental torture, and then because guys, I can commit to doing my laundry the same day every week. I can
I
commit
cannot
to
do that.
literally filling up my gas tank the same day, washing my hair the same days. I can commit to many things.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I just have to commit to.
You
a
just need to
goal.
add the right things to your schedule.
Yeah.
All right, ladies.
Also, though, I do make my birthday New Year's
All right.
for myself. That is one thing that I related to. That's all I'd say.
Okay, this one goes very well into how to fall in love this year.
I would like to add a fine print of like how to get yourself into a place where you could. Because
right.
we're not in control of the
We
universe.
think.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea. I'm just thinking over my past.
How to give
and what I
yourself
did.
the best chance at
Yes.
falling in love this year.
That is what I will say. Yeah.
Very curious what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me start.
Lisa,
okay.
let's start us off. Yeah.
So,
Lisa loves starting the topics. Anyone notice that?
yeah, because you guys are all
Because
so-
I think it would be
I have to
me.
think.
Yeah, no.
She's good on the fly.
Yeah, great
I
on the
really am.
fly.
Really am. So, okay. So, first of all, I have an Instagram highlight of this on my page.
Oh
Feel
my
free
gosh.
to go watch it. I think it's called Love Life. It's a
You
ways
do?
back.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
should
have
watch it.
like
Sounds fun.
excerpts
Oh my
from.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, I have excerpts from my journal from this time, so I can actually read them to
Whoa.
you. Yeah, I know. Let me just pull it up really quick and give you a little taste. Here we go. Ready?
I'm
Hold on.
excited.
Love Life. All right. So, this was February 2018. I was very single and tired of chasing people that were complete dead ends for me. And this was when I really turned the corner. Because you know, you're always saying, I really want a boyfriend. And then you keep doing the exact same thing that you always do. You're like, all right, so anyway,
Yes.
I'm going to talk to this dead end person that does not care if I live or die. Oh my gosh, why can't I find love? I just love people that don't care if I live or die. Why is this not turning into the best relationship of my life?
That's a
Honestly.
thing.
There you go.
You're right.
It's like, I really want to move to New York. So anyway, I live in Montana. Why don't I live in New York? Like, you need to move to New York. Change your circumstances. So
You're right.
I wrote down these like affirmations because the first step is you need to believe that it's possible.
That's
If you
true.
don't believe it is possible to fall in love, I don't know how you ever will.
You sound like a guru, but it's true.
No, it's not. This is literally just like your mindset. If you don't
you're
believe
right.
you're able to ride a bike, why would you get on a bike and try to ride? You'd be like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not able to. Okay, so
You're very right.
All I
I
did-
wonder if we're gonna have the same exact steps.
This
Because
is-
mine starts
yeah.
with
I
writing
feel-
things down.
I wrote down, I am someone's girlfriend, and I was like, what? Because I've never been someone's girlfriend. I am dating this year. I have a boyfriend. And I was like, "Ah." And I was like, I am in love. We are in love.
Ooh,
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I feel like this Does it open up your mind?
Yeah, because I was like, it was scary, and I knew that's how I was on the right track. Then I said, when I have a boyfriend, so I'm trying to get my vision. Like, what? This is just setting intentions. Like, what am I looking for when I meet people? When I have a boyfriend, I will hang out with him often because I had all these like long distance California guys that, again, did not care if I lived or died. So I was like, I want someone that I see all the time. We will go on lots of dates because I want someone who puts in effort. I will lean on him in a healthy way. I want someone who's there for me. Ooh. I will maintain a sense of self because I always got so caught up in these guys. We will not be each other's parents because, you know, it's so easy to take on this role of like, I'm going to fix you. You're going to fix me. No. We'll fix ourselves. You know, that's your side of the street. And then we will work together to build a happy life because everything I had before that was just so dramatic and wild and head shaving and just too much. I wanted peace.
And that really paints like a good picture to kind of like see how it could be possible. It's like, oh, well, that's how.
It's like, well, okay, this is at least what I want. So, you know, if you're talking to someone that's not helping you build a happy life, you don't see them very often. You
what if
don't.
they're fun and exciting? What if they make you laugh?
No.
What if you can't go a day without thinking about them?
Well,
then you're in love.
Those all apply. Okay? But if they're not helping you build a happy life and you don't get to see them as often as you want, all these things you're looking for, then it's like, oh, well, now I easily know this is not what I'm looking for. So anyway, I wrote my intentions, I wrote my journal, whatever. And then another thing I did with writing was like, I wrote this whole page, sometimes pages of just, I am in love, I am in love, I am in love. I am someone's girlfriend. I am someone's girlfriend. I'd write it like a bunch of times just so it would stop sounding so weird to me. Like writing it once was great, but I did it every day for like a month.
That's almost like exposure therapy.
Yes.
When I'm thinking of like my OCD therapy, that's like actually really similar.
Yeah. I literally had situational anxiety around dating. My therapist told me that. I was like, what? That makes sense.
That's really interesting.
So I healed myself.
Wow, good for you.
I don't know. Should I take a break or finish my part before you guys go? Should I just keep going?
I think you should keep going.
All right. So I wrote it all these times. And then I started, you know, I would say, don't doubt the strength of weak ties, whatever you want to say. It's weak ties, loose ties.
This great book.
Yeah. It's a great quote. And I was like, all right, I got to get out there more. It's a numbers game. Like, if you've only met...
the same thing.
Well, I think, I don't know who said it first, whatever, doesn't matter. If I've only met 3 people, what are the odds that one of them is my husband? Not likely.
Good.
Not likely. Like, how many people have you met that you're not married to? Like hundreds. So you need to keep going. Listen, ironically, I had already met my husband like 4 months before this, but I couldn't see him.
You were blinded by the lights.
So I thought I was still looking, but really I just needed to look at him. So I was like, I gotta get out there more. And I was like, you know, I remember hanging out with this guy that I met one time. I was just like, let's get coffee, and just like went and we just talked, and it was a good convo. Didn't go anywhere. And I just started going out with like random people like that. Or like my friend would be like, hey, do you want to come to this party? Yes. Do you want to go to this thing? Yes. Even when I wasn't in the mood. Oh, and this, oh my gosh, this was huge for me. I realized that I only wanted to go out or like be seen when I felt presentable, like emotionally, physically, mentally presentable. And then when I didn't feel like that, like, oh, I don't have the energy to get dressed, or I feel really unlovable right now, I would just hide at home. So I tried to put myself out there in those times and be like, wait, I'm a human being. I have all these different modes. Like, think of it as a circle, and I'm only showing this little bar at the top instead of the entire circle. Like, I need to like let it keep rotating and show everyone everything. So I started like just hanging out with people when I wasn't in the best mood, or just like talking about it. And when I started hanging out with my husband, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get all dressed up when he asked me to hang out. I'm just gonna go and like, you know, wear what I'm wearing right now and just be myself. Just be like, what am I feeling right now? Just be that. And like, if he says something I don't agree with, I'll just disagree with him. Because before I'd just be like, oh, cool, and like silently disagree. But I was like,
no. You gotta tell him.
Just gently.
Like, you're wrong.
No, like a song or something. I'd be like, I don't know. I don't really like it. Good for you. I mean, one time I was really tired. He was playing this song. He's like, what do you think? And I just went, I don't like it. And then I was like, I couldn't believe I said that. And he just started laughing. He's like, oh. Anyway, I decided that was a actually huge moment for me that I didn't realize when I didn't realize it at the time, but that was like a huge shift for me to be a full human. Stop trying to be like the hot girl who magically disappears when she doesn't feel attractive and then comes back when she's ready to be cute again. It's like, I'm a real person. I trip in public. I spill things. I say the wrong thing. I mess up. I embarrass myself.
You have multiple
people.
sides to you, not just one perfect
I
side.
burp or whatever. I do all these human things that you don't need to pretend like I'm always coordinated. Everything I say is so cool. Look at my outfit. Isn't it cool? Like sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. Whatever. Letting myself be a full person. I think I give this advice to everyone. Like you have to put yourself out there, not 100% all at once in their face, but as you reveal yourself to someone, if you're not being a full person, you're never going to know if the person you're with loves all of you because you haven't shown yourself to this person. I had only shown like 15% of myself to every person I dated before my husband. I really mean that. Like just hardly any at all. And I really tried to be a full human with him, and that changed everything.
Love it.
I don't know. I have more advice, but you guys just go for now, I think.
That's very like,
That was my
wow.
first dump.
I was thinking about my like history, and it's literally the exact same two things as you.
Oh, wait.
The exact same things.
One more thing. As I was like, I am someone's girlfriend or whatever. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Like if it scares you, it's the right thing. I don't know. I don't really agree with that. But like, or if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. I was like, okay, it's really scary, but I want to actually set the goal. I'm meeting my life partner this year. Because I didn't just want to say husband. Anyone, you can marry anyone. Not really, but like, tons of people get married. Doesn't mean it's going to be great. I was like, I want my life partner because to me, it was so much heavier of like someone who's like on my team with me. Like we are two peas in a pod. And like I wrote out like the definition of what a life partner is for me too. So I want it to be like beyond just the typical thing you think of marriage. Oh, just two people who are married. It doesn't it doesn't necessarily, it could mean a million things, but I was like, this is what I want. And I set that goal. And then like into like February and March, I started really focusing on that of like, I want to be with my life partner. I don't just want to date. I don't just want a boyfriend. I don't want a random boyfriend. I want my life partner.
That's like a big mindset shift.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I think I'm actually done. I think I'm over it.
That's a really good point. A mindset shift. What about you people?
I thought you were
going,
say
you
yours.
didn't.
Yeah, you were
Well,
like,
I feel like I always go second.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I
Well,
thought we were doing a line.
here's my question.
We don't have to.
I don't know.
yeah, we can
Okay,
popcorn.
I'll go. But here's my
Okay.
question. Is this like, what does this mean? How to fall in love? Like, is this just like getting a relationship, or are you saying like a real relationship?
It can be whatever, but for me,
Okay.
that's
I feel
what
like
I
it's
wanted.
overcoming fears.
Yeah,
And
like
your tips
opening
on
up.
Okay,
overcoming
how to
your
have
fears
a
of-
massive change in your love life for the better.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, I think it's how to fall in love. And
You don't even, yeah.
answer is stop. Just stop trying to do that.
Just
Please
stop.
stop. Because, okay, I
Wait.
have fallen in love before. Well, not great. Not good relationship. Bad time. Traumatized me. Not good. So don't just be like, I want to fall in love. It's like, that doesn't mean it's going to be good for you or the other person. But I
you
will
can fall
say,
in a lot of things you could call love.
well, yeah, and it's like, yeah, well, you can love someone, but it's still a horrible relationship.
True.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
I guess for me, when I fell in love with someone who actually didn't ruin my life,
What
and
concept?
I am still with, wow,
Wow,
and
girl!
it's good.
What a guy. We stand.
What had happened was I had just been traumatized by a really bad relationship.
Oh,
And
Ugh.
all that I was looking for was I was trying to find someone that restored my faith in mankind, not womankind, mankind. So not mankind all, just men. Okay, because to me,
species of male.
I was really like, every man is a psychopath. That's genuinely how I felt. And a lot of people feel that, I hate all men, I hate all men. But I was like, I want to stop hating all men, actually, and believe that some men are not horrible and going to ruin my life. So that was literally all I was doing. I wasn't trying to fall in love. I wasn't trying to do whatever, I was like, okay, I just want to meet a nice, good guy and have a good experience. I don't even have to like be in a relationship or like really date, even just like go on some dates with someone or have an experience that's like, okay, not everyone's a psycho. That was literally all I was trying to do.
What words were you thinking of when you're thinking of not a psycho? What was your definition of that?
Well, I just learned a lot from my last relationship of what was bad.
What to avoid.
So like pushing boundaries.
So you want someone respectful of
Oh,
boundaries.
you know what I was looking for was empathy, because
Yes,
I'd
that's what
experienced
you
a
talked
lot
about that a lot.
of low empathy experiences, so I was really looking for someone that had empathy. That was literally it, because I was
You
actually
talked about
like,
that so much, I remember.
I was actually like, oh, low empathy is a thing that I seem to be attracted to.
That's
so
really
I need
great
to
to realize.
recognize that and find
Pivots.
something else. And so I found someone that had empathy.
Had a lot of
He has a
empathy.
lot of empathy. He's really
I have to
nice.
say, when I talked to him, I was like, wow, his presence reminds me of a pillow.
Yes, it does.
He's like, can I make you comfy?
He was just like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I was,
Yeah,
I
just
don't-
like, oh
the
wow,
vibe
I'm
was
sorry.
very
It's like-
comforting. Not like Just keep
No,
going.
yes, definitely. You got your goal. I
Well,
will
that's
say.
what I
That's
was
what you
looking
focused
for.
on.
It's like, that's literally it. I was like, I just want a nice guy who makes me stop thinking that they're all crazy. I wasn't trying to fall in love. And also, I just want to say, which I'm sure we were going to get to this anyway, falling in love is just not the peak of life. It's not the pinnacle of life. It's
Yeah.
not going to fix any of your problems.
It
Not
will
one
not.
problem. You will still be the same person. You still be lonely sometimes. Even when you're in a relationship, you'll still have all of your flaws, all of your shortcomings. It doesn't change. All right, continue.
Yeah,
is
I'd
a
agree
great
with
point.
that a lot, actually.
See, my only divergence is I'm like, I wouldn't call it falling in love. I would just say becoming obsessed with someone that's bad for you. Like when I think of falling in love, I think of a good thing.
Well, but even a good relationship still, it doesn't make your problems go away.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying.
You have because
Like,
you're
I
still,
still have all the same problems,
Yeah.
and it's like, there's kind of like this extra boost of like love and a nice experience, all of that, but I still
It can also be an
have
extra
horrible
trigger.
because it's
times
like
sometimes.
it's searching for an external fix to an internal issue
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
looking at it in that
But
way.
maybe that's not what you're doing. Just saying.
But like that is very easy to do.
Thinking of your recent opening
You're
up,
talking to me? Oh, okay.
like positive experience, what would you say led to that?
Okay,
What changed
so
and led
here's
to
what
that?
happened, guys. I'm actually really excited because, like, even though I'm like, okay, anyway. So, here's what happened. So, January last year, I guess. Yeah, January 2021. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, time just doesn't make sense. Man-made construct. Anyway,
does.
so Lord Christine,
sense.
put it away.
Just go.
Put it away. Put it away. Put it far away from me.
Just tell us.
Anyway, so Christina sent me this video. First, I was like mad because
Wait,
I was
what
like,
was
is
it?
she roasting
What
me?
was it?
It was about opening up, and I was like, she thinks I'm closed off.
I was like, Amy would really benefit from this message.
you literally were right, but I was so mad. I was like, okay, whatever. So I watched it.
Okay, whatever.
And I was like, whoa. Because she was saying incredible. So in my very own personal life, I've had an issue with liking men that don't care whether I like live or die or whatever you're saying. They care about me. It's nice, but they don't care about me that much. Like,
escalate?
it doesn't
Care about you
escalate.
like that.
We're like friends or something like, oh gosh, I don't
That's
even
a
want to think about those
specific thing.
situations.
It doesn't get to like
where
relationship.
yeah, because it's like that emotional usage thing where you're emotionally talking a lot and like you're just friends.
But
blah,
they're
blah.
not
Yeah.
comfortable going to a more serious place.
Yeah, and neither
because
was I.
You were not comfortable.
Yeah, and
so that
I-
made you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and it took me like years to figure out all these different things. So when I watched the video, she's talking about like you need to have something more that you're missing, or not more that you're missing. You need to. What was she saying? It was like what you're missing out on needs to be more like bigger to you than what you're gaining if you want something new, if that makes sense. So it's like you need a bigger yes than a no kind of thing.
Okay.
So I like
That's
sat
Or
in my
like
car.
a better reason why than why not.
Yes. Yes. So I was sitting in my car and I was like, these are all the things that I'm missing out on by not opening myself up, by like chasing all these guys, by not like being real with myself and not like not being a better man. You know?
Literally just shifted your perspective.
Yeah.
Wait,
and I wrote all these things down and I was like, this is what I'm missing out on.
When I decided I had enough is enough, I was like, you know what? I'm so scared of getting in a relationship and all that. But the pain of being alone and being where I am is worse than the fear of changing. That was the tipping point.
I wasn't even like, it's worse. I was like, wait, this thing that I'm missing out on actually like
could have some
upsides.
Be
nice.
Yeah.
You explored the upsides.
Perfectly fine. Girl bossing it up all day. Like I'm a very independent person, even though I'm like, oh, I want to like
you had to like actually
in my heart of hearts, I didn't want it.
What would be the upsides of this?
There's no upside.
I think it's all downside.
It's all a trap, but it's not, I guess. Anyway, so I wrote that list, and then it was so crazy because it unlocked something in me. Because then I went to this thing.
This is such a cool
and then
thing we're talking
I
about
was like, I know, I love it. So I went to this thing, and then I realized I was sitting there not speaking to anybody. There were people I knew. I did not say a word to no person. And when do I not say no words? Never. But I was so like scared. And I don't know exactly what was causing all this, but I was like, oh my gosh, I left this thing where I could have met someone like to be friends with, like any person. I could have met a new person. I could have spoken to people I know and I think that I like these girls that I knew. I didn't even say a word, but I knew them. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm ruining my life. Because I'm like, oh, what's wrong? I'm going to things. It's not like I'm staying at home all day.
You're like, I'm out all the time. I'm not meeting anyone.
Yeah, because you don't meet guys. Did you know that if you don't speak to people, you don't meet anyone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are you?
I never knew that.
I didn't realize that. So then,
that's crazy that you can like trick yourself that much. Not you personally, but like any person.
Personally, I do.
That you can be like, I'm going places all the time, and not even be aware of the fact that you're intentionally keeping yourself from certain people.
Guys, so then this whole story gets fun, but also not fun. So then I was like, okay, my next thing is I'm just gonna put myself out there. If I see like a girl who looks cool and I want to talk to her, I want to be friends, let's talk to her. If I see a guy who's cute, I'll be like, hey, I'm really great at like starting up new conversations. It's like a talent, you know, but like I don't employ that very usefully when I should. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing this. So I start doing it and I start meeting guys and I start getting rejected, and my life flashes before my eyes every time. It's the apocalypse. I'm gonna die. Lauren's like, what's wrong with you, psychopath? But the thing is, when you don't have in your soul, maybe.
I didn't say that. You said that to yourself.
Yeah,
and projected it onto me.
And then Lauren just was like, ah. And then when you don't have a lot of experience as like a teenager, like developing that skill or just developing like dating, which I didn't have. So I was coming at it from disadvantage, bros. So then I was like, okay, I'm getting rejected. My world keeps falling apart, but I keep getting back up. And I'm like, I'm never seeing anyone again. And Lauren's like, yeah, right. Every single time.
I know. You always say that.
Yeah. And then I do. And then I meet someone else. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, ugh. And then, so what I did was I would meet a guy. I'd be like, let's hang out. They would reject me. Cry. Whatever. Meet a new person. They would reject me. Blah, blah. So then I kept getting rejected. But every time, even though I would flip out, the flipping out would be less. It would be less time. It would be less
painful.
Yeah. And I was like, Lauren's right. I just have to get rejected a bunch. I just have to keep going, and it's just going to happen. And I'm going to keep getting rejected because I keep meeting people. And that's something that I wasn't used to because I wasn't meeting people. I was going places, but I wasn't. It's like you were looking, but you weren't really seeing. Like I wasn't going places. I wasn't meeting people. So then, anyway, rejection. Then I met this guy, and we like really hit it off, and we like saw each other for a while, and blah blah. Long story short, it's like I got the closest I've ever been to having a real relationship, or like just the start of it. And I was like, whoa, I think this is fun. And I was like, cool. So yeah, but I was like, this, I can't say 2 minutes, like this guy was just like a very much an eye-opening experience. And I was like, this is what I want to have in my life. Like, I don't want these dating experiences where I feel like he was so respectful, so nice, but it was like, we're too different, blah, 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 whatever. But it was like, if we were not too different in our like lifestyle things and I could meet someone like that and that wasn't too different, I would be like, this is what I would want. So now I'm like, wow. I have a picture.
You went to like a new level of like opening up and getting close to and letting someone know you.
Yeah. And then I learned all these things of like,
finding someone you click with on that level is cool.
And like I had all these things of like, okay, next time I will talk more about this thing that I'm like not really talking about, or like I'll let myself be seen more. You learned a lot
from it?
Yeah, it was so fun. Wow.
You had a positive experience.
Yeah.
Because the more risk you take of telling someone exactly who you are up front, not oversharing, but, you know, being like, this is where I'm at.
Authentic.
The more that you do that, the more likely you are to find someone who's like, hey, whoa, that's what I'm looking for. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
They're what I'm looking for.
I saw this TikTok, and I don't know if you guys think this is dumb, but it was like, what was he saying? It was like, bro, you're only single because you don't like the people that like you and you don't tell the people that you like them. And I was like, that's not fully accurate, but it's accurate, you know?
It's a decent point, for sure.
Yeah, because it's like, because I was thinking about it and I was like,
just tell everyone you like them. And then
no,
you'll definitely
but I was like,
you have a better chance.
You have a way better chance.
You have a way better chance.
Well,
I even just like asking them to hang out and just.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I was so like down on myself right before I had my whole shift. And then my like guy friend was like, you know, really gently, like, I think you make it really hard on yourself. Like, I think you make it harder for yourself than it has to be. And I was like,
uh-oh.
What? Are you insinuating that I'm doing something wrong? What? And then months later, after I had actually changed stuff, I look back, I was like, he was dead right. But I was so like hurt in the moment. He was so right.
That was me too, Christina, when you texted me that video.
Yeah, every time you're like, what are you saying? Wait, what are you really saying? And then, because you're at a place where it just won't click, you won't listen. But eventually, something's going to happen where you're sick of your crap.
It's really cool because hearing everyone's stories, then I'm realizing that they're all kind of like the same points, but with our own unique stories. And mine is, I feel like mine is a mix of everyone's, which are all basically the same thing. When I was trying to think about it, I was like, I feel like I wanted a boyfriend from the day I was born.
Yeah, same.
I feel like I was like, I need a boyfriend. A boy will never like me. Mm-hmm. And it was like this giant mystery of how will this ever happen? And I was like, never mind. I don't know where I was going to go with that, but it's probably going to be somewhere weird. But anyway, I feel like the defining moments were after my first trash boyfriend. Actually, that was the moment right there. So here's, and actually right before him. So I was in college. I was 16. We went early to college, and I was 16 or 17 at this point, and I was writing. I was doing what Lisa did, and I was like, so when I was 15, I was like, time to get real about my career, my plans for my life, blah, blah, blah. So I was in a very mature state at 16, 17, and I was like, I want to find my life partner at that age, which I did meet him at 19, so it kind of makes sense. So I was like, I want to meet my life partner.
That was not
I
me.
want a boyfriend, and I want him to become my husband eventually. And I wrote down all these things. I actually found this notebook later, which I'll get to later. But I wrote down like all these things that I wanted him to be like, not like he'll be tall,
blue eyes.
Why is that the first?
Yeah, not that. He'll be tall and he'll be funny or whatever. It wasn't that. It was more like things like Lisa was saying. I literally don't remember what I wrote, but I remember it was more like meaningful
Me when you
things.
ended up with a tall person with blue eyes.
Yeah. That's not
strange.
So I wrote down these things that were really important to me, that meant a lot to me, and that I really wanted to find in a partner. It wasn't just like, I want to have fun with a really cute guy. I really was taking it really very seriously for a 17-year-old. I don't know why I was like that. Actually, I do. I do know why I was like that, but we're not getting into that.
I just realized I did that too. After my bad relationship, I wrote like, what I need instead.
Another thing I did.
I wrote all that down, so we all did that.
That's my other point that I did. So that's the second time I did it.
So I had a clearer picture of what I needed, not just what I wanted,
what I needed.
Yes,
that's what I did.
I think that's really normal actually, because when you have a bad experience in life, you're like, what am I going to do next time?
So first I wrote it before my first relationship. Then I got in this trash relationship. You guys have heard me trash him many times. He deserves it. And he really did. I was such a good girlfriend. Like, seriously, I was so like helpful, compassionate, kind, like way too much. He was way too codependent, but I was such a good girlfriend. And I was so innocent and young, such a good girlfriend. He was just not.
Friggin' jerk.
He was so bad. But anyway, so I had this short first relationship, and after it ended, I had this huge awakening. And I remember the moment. It's so crazy. I was so depressed. We talked about this in one of the past episodes, but not this part. I was so depressed over losing him, and I remember the moment I was like lying in bed in the middle of the night, and I was like, I deserve a guy who will bring me flowers. That was like the first thing I thought.
She knew.
And that sounds like a really like insignificant thing. Like that's not the main point, but the point actually was a guy who will actually put in effort towards me, and I will not be putting in all the effort in the relationship, which what I've been doing.
Because that was the moment you started to believe you deserved it.
That is literally what happened. So when I was in the relationship with him, I was very new to things. I was 18. I was like late to the game, I guess you could say. And I didn't know what I deserved or like what was good treatment at all. I had no idea. So I thought all the stuff I was experiencing was like normal and fine and good. And it was really absolutely not. So I woke up in that moment and I was like, I actually deserve good things. And I had realized what not good things were. So I wrote down, I deserve a guy who will this. I deserve a guy who will that. I deserve a guy who will respect this and this about me. I deserve a guy who will actually support me with my dreams and not put them down. I wrote all these different things that were really important to me, that were really like deep, like really important things. And I had a really clear picture of what I deserved. That was a defining moment, and I did meet Nick a few months later.
Whoa.
Now, I do have to say, though, it was a journey after that of several years of dating him, but still, and then we actually took a break for like, I don't remember how long it was.
6 months?
Almost a year, maybe?
8 months?
A while in it. I also was meeting a lot of guys throughout like our career as well, and just realizing, it was like a journey of realizing, like, I was like, did I really pick, like when I wrote down those qualities, was that really a good list of things that to want in a life partner? And yes, it was. But I had to learn that through meeting other guys as well, like lots of different types of guys. Like, what about the tortured artist? What about the blah blah blah? Getting to know all these different types of guys who are like different than Nick, and realizing like, okay, there's a lot of types of guys. It used to be like, maybe this other type would have this thing that's missing, but I realized like there's a lot of types of guys.
Everyone is missing
something. There's not this special like secret ingredient that some other type of guy has. That's not really a thing. And then I don't know, it lost the mystery, was gone. That's what it was. The mystery of like if you've only dated a certain type of like, I don't know, athlete guy, I'm making up the most like generic thing I think of, then you might be like, what's it like to be with a musician? You know?
Bad.
Okay. I'm kidding. Not all musicians.
Oh,
But
see,
maybe most.
I don't even. He's just so different. I don't think he's a musician.
I know.
He's more of a businessman.
I know, but I'm just saying he's very talented in music.
But
Very
anyway,
talented.
that was a part of the journey for me. Wondering, you know where I was going with that, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
I don't know. I think
So-
that's part of it is not romanticizing. Like I'm saying, what is this type of person like? There are a lot of different types of people.
Knowing what you're looking for. It is not so much in an aesthetic as it is in qualities.
Yeah.
And I would say, to summarize, get out of your house. Put yourself out there.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. I met him through his sister. Because I talked to her and said, are you related to my old babysitter, basically? So I put myself out there and talked to someone and then met him through her. If I had not done that, I would never have met him.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
So It all comes full circle.
Because you're not like looking at his sister and be like, oh, she is the sister of the love of my life.
I'm just
was
meeting
a
someone.
really weak tie. That was the strength of such a weak tie.
Yeah.
She's a random girl from your school. Now she's your
Guys,
sister-in-law.
what Lisa's talking about is there's this book called
I
Why.
said it. Oh, yeah, I said
It's
it
called
earlier,
The
didn't I?
Defining Decade. No,
quote?
Why Your 20s.
Oh.
No, I'm gonna explain what it is.
Oh.
Why Your wait,
I don't
crap.
know what this is.
The Defining Decade, Why Your 20s Matter, something like that. I don't know what it's called, something like that. And she says it's like the strength of weak ties, something like that. She says that you're most likely to like connect with like your future spouse or make important connections for your career through kind of random people, weak ties. Like a random person you meet
People you
invites
barely
you
know.
to a party, you go to that, and then you meet someone very significant. But the only reason you were, actually that's true, like one of my really good friends, I went to a random party for someone I don't even know that Catherine told me about, or you, and then I met a really good friend there, and it was this random person, I don't even know him.
There you
I just
go.
went. It was like a fundraiser kind of thing.
Because
like, oh, let's
when
go.
you only hang out with people you're super close with, then
same circle all
you're,
the time.
You're in the same thing all the time. But when you hang out with someone or go somewhere with someone that you barely know, that you're suddenly exposed to an entirely new social circle, and that is where opportunity is born.
Yes.
Okay, so in conclusion,
Put
it
yourself
sounds
out
like
there.
Write things down. That is a magical thing. Which
Change your
This is a true
mindset.
thing, actually.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like knowing what you want and actually need versus just like, oh.
Try it out, you guys. I challenge
Okay.
you to actually write these things down to open your mind and shift your mindset, and then actually do something different and see what happens.
And look for someone with empathy.
Yes.
This is how I would summarize. Figure out what you're looking for. Figure out what you're doing wrong. It's okay. You're not a bad person. Put
It's
yourself
okay.
out there more. Most likely you're not doing that in some form. And
True.
Yeah, like he'll be like Amy's form.
yes. And,
True.
Oh, two more. Be your whole self so you know if the person that you're talking to will actually
Oh, I was gonna say that in my point,
accept
but you
you
said
and
it.
like, you know, you are what they're looking for or not. Oh my gosh, what was the last one? Oh, and then use your checklist when assessing people. Don't just be like,
Don't throw it out the
I'm
window.
so obsessed with this person, but they're so blah blah. It's
Don't
like, okay,
block
well,
and report
are they
it.
doing this or doing that? You know, go through your qualities and then you just know, and then move on. That's
Yeah.
it.
Love it.
Don't
love it.
waste
Love
your
it. Love it.
time.
Okay, guys, let's go to Sister Spotlight, where we have Get Real with Christina, Sappy or Sassy Thoughts with Kath. I just got to say it anyway, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Lisa's Corner, Amy's Current Crisis, and Lauren's Take. And the sister this week, with the spotlight on her, is Amy's Current Crisis.
Guys, do we have a crisis for you today? Yes, we do.
I'd love to hear
Okay. So,
Okay.
this
scared.
crisis is entitled, because that's why I say it's entitled, right?
Yeah.
I went
Not
through this
titled.
the other day. Yeah.
Right?
No, both. You could say titled.
This crisis is entitled, Amy's social anxiety. Woo! No, it's not a woo.
Oh,
It
no.
sucks. So, you would think, oh my gosh, she loves people. She's
She
fun
does.
and fresh and leaves her house every minute. Party
does.
every day.
Literally.
Party every day.
It is her.
Started singing that to me today.
Yeah,
He's
she's like Monday, Tuesday. Like she's always just out. Not necessarily at a party, but just out.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love that for
always
you.
doing a lot of things. So you're like, oh, with the same, not the same, but a lot of the same people that I like know. So like you would think I would not have this problem, but guess what? I do. So here's the problem. First of all, I have a problem where I hate going places I've never been. Not if I.
Me too.
I also hate going places because I'm scared that I got the place wrong or no one's gonna be there or something. Like I'm scared something somewhere is tricking me, and it's like, gonna be really embarrassing. I don't know what.
Okay, I'm relating to you 100% so far.
Is that the OCD gods?
Possibly.
Okay. Anyway,
Hey,
so
Zach Woodward has a fear that someone's gonna go out from under his car and slice his Achilles.
that is.
I have
He went to
that
hug
fear.
me and he was like,
That's not
I
justified fear.
totally have that. Oh my god.
like really practiced it.
That's not an unjustified fear.
so okay. I was like, let me look for you. There's no there. All right, anyway, sorry.
So this fear really centers around entering, because once I'm in it to win it, usually. And I'm talking, I'm having fun, blah, 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 blah. Being social guy. So, but when I get there sometimes, oh my gosh. And I don't know if this last year has just exacerbated this issue like exponentially. Maybe not. But this happened to me before. One time I went to a party with Catherine, and Catherine shows up an hour after me. And you know what I'm doing in that entire hour? Sitting in my car. Because I'm like, I'm not leaving this vehicle until Catherine gets here.
I mean,
and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm sitting and the time is going tick-tock.
I do that and I wait for Amy.
Move. I'm physically like frozen. Like I even walked to the house, walked back.
oh my gosh. Wait,
couldn't
was
do
this
it.
something where you knew people or no?
Yes, I knew people, but I didn't know what
okay.
the format, layout. I just didn't know what was going on.
When I have this moment, I actually do the Shia LaBeouf. I literally say, just do it to myself, and then I do it really quick.
Yeah. You go, do it.
Just do it, and then I'm like, okay, go.
I don't even know if I can do that. So
Amy,
anyway,
you should try it as an extrovert. Just like say it real quick, and then suddenly you're like, wait, I can't believe I just did that. Like impulsively do it.
You jumped off of like a 20-foot cliff
I
in
did.
like 15 seconds. I took 10 minutes to mull it over. And you're just like, bloop.
Yeah, true.
You
can't-
into water.
You should harness that next time. Anyway,
should.
continue.
So the other night, I go to this thing, and this girl I know is going. So I get there, and I'm like, I can't leave my car. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm gonna die if I leave my car. Like I can't do it. So I'm sitting there, and she's like, oh, I'm coming from dinner. I'll be there kind of soonish. I'm sitting there for 40 minutes, and it's not her fault because obviously she has her life to live. We did not plan to come together. I just knew that she was coming, and I was like, I can't leave her. I'm on the phone with Lauren. Ring, ring, Lauren. I'm sitting in my car watching TikToks. What do? I'm going to die if I try to walk in. I'm I can't do this. And she's like, oh, it's okay. Just sit in your car. So then. Anyway, I go to this thing with Rachel, and I'm with another human, but I'm like, I can't leave my car. I can't do it.
Oh.
And I'm with another person, and I still can't do it. So then I call Lauren, and I go, ring, ring. She goes, stop it. She goes, get out of your car right now. You have 5 seconds. I'm giving you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You better be out of your car.
That's literally what I
You
said.
better be out. Rachel's filming the whole thing, cracking up.
Were you out of your car at the end of the
Yes,
countdown?
because I was like,
was.
okay,
See, I told
I'm
you.
gonna die.
I was basically doing your thing, but to her.
countdown.
It's like,
She's
just
like,
get out now.
You're like, I don't have time for this. Like, I need
It's
to,
like,
like,
I'm busy. Get out of your
Get
car.
out of your car. You know you're going to have fun. You know people here. Go. Or I'm walking around, I'm like, Lauren, do I go to this thing? I have to leave in like 10
my
minutes.
gosh.
And she goes, go. You say this every time. Do I have to go? And you go every time. So just
She literally
leave.
does.
Just get out. Go. So, and yeah, every single time before I go somewhere, I play the, I don't know if I'm going to go. Oh, what do I do? Do I go? Do I not go? What do I go? Till I decide, okay, I'm going, because Lauren probably told me I should go. And I'm also,
Literally.
I walk in her room, I'm like, I don't know why, I just can't do this. She's like, go. And I'm like, okay. And then I go, and then I walk in and I have fun every time.
Literally every time. So like, just go, woman.
It's just the thing of like deciding to go and then also walking in is so brutal. I'm like, I'm
I get
gonna
it.
die. I can't do this. But then once I get in, it's good and it works. But before then, I have issues. So now I just maybe have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 myself.
Yeah, it works. The counting. It
Also,
really does.
knowing I have this issue, I could just plan to go places with people sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Like
what I
plan
do.
to
Or
get
like
there
go
at the same
early,
time.
so you have time to sit.
You can't go early though because you don't want to be too eager.
No, because you had time to sit in your car.
Oh yeah. You're right. But no, like I planned
Or
with
you
my
should
friend.
I
Try
think you
it.
shouldn't sit in your car though. It makes
No,
it
yeah,
worse.
yeah.
Yeah,
or
I
you
agree.
could, this is what I would like to do for myself. Start like smaller. Something gives you a little bit of anxiety and actually be like, I'm going to overcome this fear. I'm going to do it. I'm going to feel uncomfortable and I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Make it a resolution. Well, do whatever you want to. That's my catchphrase. Do whatever you want. Make it a resolution to, as soon as you put the car in park, unbuckle your seatbelt and get out.
You're like, just go.
Do not
just
sit
do
there
it.
for 1 second. Like, make it a habit getting out of your car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you know,
Because even if you feel anxious and be like, just walk in and charge through it, and then eventually you'll get over it.
Yeah,
You're very
I
right.
do the anxiety panic the whole way I'm driving there. So by the time I get there, I already did it, and I'm like, all right, we're just
It
going in. The
always
whole time,
creeps
like,
up on me.
I'm
I
not
don't
going. I'm not going. I'm not gonna go as I'm driving there.
It's like when I want to walk in the morning and there's a huge group of parents from the school bus drop off or pick up, whatever. And I'm like, oh gosh, am I really going to walk by these people? I'm like, I'm going to cross the street. But I'm like, no, just walk by them and wave to them.
See,
And I don't want to do it. And I'm like,
this is me walking past the, like, I don't know how old they are, 8th grade girls soccer team. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what are these teens thinking of me? I swear I'm cool. I'm like walking, pushing my stroller, like, hey, I'm listening to Justin Bieber. Do you hear it? I'm cool.
I know Justin Bieber.
I promise.
Like, I know who Justin is.
Like, I know what TikTok is.
So yeah, I mean, the other day my friend and I planned to get somewhere at the same time, and we did, and then we walked in together,
that was a great
and it
idea.
was fine.
That's what I do.
I
I
love
plan
it.
for Amy to go at
Yeah.
the same time as me.
There
See,
you go.
that's the thing. I can do it for other people.
Having a baby is great for this, actually. I never go
Maybe I
anywhere
should just
alone
have one of
anymore.
those.
It's
There you
actually
go.
amazing. I'm like, oh, blah, blah,
You
blah.
got
If I'm like
a
nervous.
buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
that's all I got for
Amy's
you.
current crisis. We love to hear it.
Good job. Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
That's
that
all we got
was
for
a
you.
lot.
That was a great episode. I will say, like, wow.
Yeah, we're having some great
That
episodes
was really
lately.
fun.
Let
I
us
was like,
know if you
ooh.
fall in love.
Yeah, let us know.
Please, someone try it. I'm begging.
Yeah.
I'm begging you.
If you-
someone try what we said.
If you do
please.
it, I swear you'll succeed.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could try with anything like friendships, career, like anything. Please try that. Please.
And
please,
if you
please.
didn't succeed, you just need to commit a little more.
You just need to keep going.
Well, I want to know. Try it. All right, guys. We got to stop talking.
Bye.
We'll go on forever.
Shut up.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.